All right, so today we are going to be looking at comparing two quadratic functions, which we're going to be looking at the actual equations and also graphs. And I'm going to show you guys how to compare. So the what, why, and how, we'll learn how to compare. Why helps us get a better idea of what the graph looks like without doing much work. So if you accomplish the what, students will be able to compare these two functions, meaning we'll look at the shape, the direction, and also opening up or opening down. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we have these two functions. We have function f, and we've got function g. Okay, they're almost the same. Only difference is this one has a -3 here. Okay. For this one, if we're looking at shape, we look at the a value. Remember, the a value is the one right in front of x squared. A is 1. For this one, a is 1 as well. So they should, if we put them into Desmos and looked at the graph, they should have the exact same shape, and they would. Okay? Now, look at both of them have an a value that's positive, which means they are both going to open up. So if they open up, that means they both have a minimum value as well because of the fact of them opening up. So +1 and +1 means they both open up, okay? Actually, it doesn't even matter if they're both 1, it's just they're both positive. So to find the AOS, remember that's the x value of the vertex. To do that, we need to find the x value of the vertex. Okay, so if I plug these in, I get negative b, b is 2. Over 2a, a is 1. Now wait a minute here. Wait. So the a and the b values on both of these are exactly the same. Look. If I plug in b, if I plug in a, they're the same. Only difference is c. So this formula doesn't have c. So since a and b are the same, I shouldn't even have to even do the entire formula. So we know that they have the same AOS, okay? And for the vertex, okay, this -3, since everything else is the same, that -3 right there at the end is actually just bringing the graph down 3 units. So I know, because everything else is the same, x squared plus 2x, x squared plus 2x, that -3 is going to be shift the graph down 3 units below g. So f will be below the function of g. Okay, the vertex is just shifted down. Okay, and here's an image of them. So this is g, this is f. Notice how f is 1, 2, 3 units below the function g. Same shape, exactly the same. Okay, next example. Okay, try to think about what we did in example 1. So if you notice, everything's the same except for this +2. But also, this negative right here, this negative in the front, that's going to change things as well. Okay, so this one has an a value of -1, while this one has an a value of 1. Hey, they still have the same shape because they still have a 1. Okay, so this negative, this one being negative and this one being positive, the only thing that's going to affect that is their direction. Okay, so f actually opens downward, while g opens upward because this is negative, this is positive. Okay, so that means if this one opens down, it actually will have a maximum, and while this one opens up, this one actually has a minimum. Because of the way it looks, it's going to look like this. So there's a bottom, and that's going to look like this. So there's a top, maximum, minimum. Okay, AOS. Huh? It looks like they should be different because my a values are different. So we still have the same b values of -6, but this a value is -1. Which is going to give me +6 over -2. And this one is going to give me +6 over positive 2. So they will be different. Okay, this one will be a negative, while this one will be a positive. Okay, so the vertex, okay, this +2 affects it again. Okay, if this didn't have a +2, then they would meet right there at the same spot at the vertex, except for one would be opening up and the other one would be opening down. So they would just be like this, sort of like kissing each other. Okay, so this one here will have different vertices. This one will be above it. Let's see. Okay, so this one here, this is F, and then this is G. Okay, so they're actually complete opposite sides of each other. Okay, I wasn't thinking about that, but the Y values are complete opposites. This is 10. If it didn't have a +2, it would be at -10, but the +2 brought it up 2 units. You don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just know that they have different vertices. That's it. You don't have to say anything about what they are or where they are. You just know they're different vertices, and you know they have different AOSs because of these being different. Okay, almost looks the same, but this is 1 and this is -1. You don't have, I mean, if you want to go and find the actual number to make it, more solid for you, that's fine. Okay, so I want you to try this one. All right, so that means you're going to pause it or whatever. If it's on Edpuzzle, it'll probably ask you some of these, but pause it and try to write down each of these and then let the video play after. Okay, so the shape, you should know this. They both have a 2, so they're the same. Direction, they're both negative, so they're both opening down, which means they both have a maximum. AOS, well, everything's the same except for that +1. Remember, that +1 is the C value. C values don't affect the AOS. They don't. That's just up and down. So if you were to plug your numbers in, look, my B value is -8, my A value is -2, and if I did it over here, I'm also going to have -8 and -2. Okay, the AOS of this is going to be the same for each of these. F and G will have the same AOS, exactly the same. And then the vertex, okay, this one, since everything's the same, and this one's a +1 at the end, I know that G is going to be 1 above F because everything was the same. We didn't do that on the last example. Okay, there was an A value that was different, so we can't say that it's just 1 or 2 or 3 units above or below the other one. Okay, they're going to be in completely different locations, like they were in the last example. Okay, but since everything's the same, except for that one C value being +1, okay, that moves it up 1. So check it out. Here's F, the black one, and then G. So notice, look at G's in red. It's 1 unit above it. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed the show.